Welcome in and welcome back to the Down South Philly Show, powered by the Sports Lounge Media and the Diamond Collective. Hey, we got a special guest in the building, man. So it's been a long time coming. I've been on his platform more than a few times. We every time we get together, we do amazing numbers. Something like a Shaq and Kobe, or maybe peanut butter and jelly, or more appropriately, Hurts and AJ. Uh,
Ooh, see, I was just gonna go there with
Yeah,
it too.
yeah. My man, Sports with Sunshine is in the building. How you feeling?
Incredible, man. Like you said, it's been a long time. I've been waiting. I've been gnawing to get on this joint, and I'm just happy to finally get. I'm blessed with the opportunity, man. I appreciate you for carving out some time. I'm excited to look at some things, man. Thank you guys so much for having me, and let's get the Down South Philly show kicking.
Let's go. So this is your first time here. Obviously, I've been on your platform numerous of times, and we're actually co-streaming on your platform as well. So welcome the sports sports with Sunshine fam into this stream tonight. We're gonna talk some birds. No strangers to that. But
My
first,
favorite.
before we get into that, so a little bit about how we got started is obviously I was talking birds at the time. You were strictly talking birds as well, and
Yep.
you hopped in my inbox, said we you love the work, and I got on the live, and we've been clicking ever since. And oddly enough, we ended up on the same network. So it's crazy how things work, and it was in a short period of time that we was able to you know, put
Hmm.
together so many streams and so many projects, and I'm excited for the future as well. So it's dope to see you here, finally getting you on the platform. So the first thing that we're gonna kick off today, obviously, unless you've been hiding under a rock, you've heard the news about us trading Booker. So the Eagles acquire cornerback Jacorian Bennett from the Raiders in exchange for tackle Thomas Booker. Now, Thomas Booker, man, I did not want to lose him. He was one of those promising guys that his trajectory kind of reminded me of a Josh Sweat. So when you think about Josh when he first got here, he always flashed. He just didn't have the time to show what he can do. But obviously, fast forward to now, he just got a big payday because he showed out in the Super Bowl. And I
Big
think
payday.
that Thomas Booker was on that same kind of trajectory, just behind some dogs, not getting that chance to fully shine yet. But I wish him the best. What are your thoughts on Thomas Booker before we get to the other side of the coin?
Yeah, so I agree. I thought that Thomas Booker was. It wasn't necessarily that he wasn't like a premier athlete. I thought that the Texans dropped him off of their waiver wire and we picked him up, and he came to Philadelphia and really just shined. And it's like you said, he was kind of buried by talent, right? You look at all of the great defensive linemen that Philadelphia had. No one could have predicted that Milton Williams was going to take off like he did. We have a Jomo who's tearing camp up right now, who was also in that rotation. So I think that just with Thomas Booker, it's not that he wasn't talented. A lot of Philadelphia Eagles fans will tell you that this kid was incredible, specifically in run defense. Was he a great pass rusher? No, but that's not really what we were asking Thomas Booker to do. We were asking him to be a superior run defender, and I thought he did a really great job with that. And like you, I expressed sentiment in losing him. I do hope that the Raiders fans treat him right, because he's going to bring high energy. He's going to be incredible at the point of attack. You guys got a dog in that one. I'm not upset, and we'll talk about obviously the other side of the coin. I thought that it needed to happen because of how deep our defensive line room is. All in all, nothing but love for Thomas Booker, and I wish him nothing but success in Las Vegas.
Yeah, man. And just a great segue to get to the other side of that, right? So we receive Jacorian Bennett, cornerback, in a position that's for lack of a better word, thin. We're really thin at the position. So obviously we know we're in a camp battle when it comes to CB2 with Ringo and Adoree Jackson. So ups and downs of camps, you kind of can take it with a grain of salt, what you hear. Um, it kind of is what it is, right? At this point in the season, it's just camp. 2 weeks in the camp, almost 3 weeks in the camp. So what you hear from camp is, obviously nobody's running away with the position. Ringo is getting beat by AJ, but then again, AJ beats CB1s every week. So I'm not phased by that. I'm really just wondering if they can stay healthy enough to compete. And But adding the depth with Corey and Bennett, I love to see. What are your thoughts on?
Yes. So when we look at Jacorian Bennett, he is very young. He's very raw. 24-year-old out of Las Vegas, has dealt with a little bit of injury issues early on in his young career. But in his time in Las Vegas, the kid spent all of his time in a zone scheme defense, which is going to, I think, segue beautifully to a Vic Fangio defense. I think that's really going to prep him to come in and really compete for that CB2 spot, because it's like you said, the Philadelphia Eagles do not have a solidified CB2 right now. That battle is completely up in the air. You ask Vic Fangio and he'll give you the coach answer of, we like some of the things that they're doing and there are some things that they need to work on. Not like Quinyon Mitchell. All we hear about Quinyon Mitchell is that he's the only corner in camp that can go toe to toe with AJ Brown. He's the only corner in camp that's being trained to travel. So we look at that CB2 spot and there's a lot of question marks there if we're Philadelphia Eagles fans. That's kind of where Eagles fans are kind of like, I'm not really secure in that. Now, camp is a place where people are supposed to make mistakes. They're supposed to learn. So hearing that, I agree with you. Hearing that Keely Ringo is getting beat by AJ Brown doesn't move me as much. Now, does it make me concerned because he's also getting beat by 10-day contract guys? That's kind of where I hear, okay, Keely, you don't need to be getting beaten by like Terrence Marshall and these different guys. You need to kind of be in competition with them. But I have heard very good things as of recently from Keely Ringo in terms of his ability to stick to guys. Jacorian Bennett is a guy that I really think can come in. I don't think he's a depth piece, DP. I think that this is a kid that is being brought in. He's still on a rookie contract, very Howie Roseman. He's still on a rookie contract. And if he comes in and pans out, you've got 24-year-old Jacorian Bennett, and I know I'm way ahead of the bull here. You've got young Jacorian Bennett, young Quinyon Mitchell, young Cooper DeJean, all on rookie contracts that are all going to expire at the same time. So Jacorian Bennett has an incredible opportunity in front of him. I loved how great he was in one-on-one coverages versus the likes of Jerry Jeudy, Jamar Chase, Lad McConkey, holding all of these guys to really low averages. I think that he's got all of the opportunity in the world, but I wouldn't necessarily say he's just got the job, because right now it is a heated contested battle between Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo. And you add him, it's only going to add competition to a room that really needs it.
Right. And then when you think about obviously some of the negatives that we hear immediately, one, him being available, right? So anytime a player is available, there's some question marks that come along with the team who gets him. And anytime Philly gets a player, he's damaged goods, of course. Uh, and then we win a Super Bowl and we get labeled a
Didn't
super team.
didn't Giant fans tell us that there was a running back we got from New York? I don't really remember his name, but he was
There
supposed
was.
to he was supposed to be hurt, and then he ended up going for 2,000 rushing yards, the most ever in a single season. I don't know.
Hey, I mean they threw. We got the right guard from Mekhi Becton off the trash heap. He wasn't supposed to do much.
Yeah,
He
he was
ended up
a big
being
he was a big fat bust.
Yeah, and he ended up getting a bag. So that's just such his life as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Just I'm excited, man. I'm excited for what it could be. Obviously, in a best case scenario, he could be what Rodgers was and more. So Isaiah Rodgers was an amazing talent for us last year, all but won the job if it wasn't for injury, right?
Mhm.
So um
A
even
great
when he
plug and
came
play
in,
guy.
great plug and play. But I think he could have been a starter. It's just, he got hurt at the wrong time. And once Q got in there, you just couldn't take him out.
Yeah,
He
he ran away with the job.
you couldn't take him out. So ideally I would have loved to keep Rodgers last year, but hey, that's water
He
under the bridge now.
Of everybody we lost, that's the one guy that I'm the most upset about. We knew Darius Slay was probably on his way out. We
Yep.
knew CJ Gardner-Johnson wasn't meshing with the locker room. We knew Milton Williams was going to get paid a bag. But man, I would have loved for Isaiah Rodgers to stay in and take that CB2 spot. But I am happy for him, and I wish him nothing but success. He's going to be incredible with the Vikings. So no hard feelings at all towards any of them, really.
Right. I mean it's not their fault. Anyway,
Right. It's a
but he
business. It's a business. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, especially when you think about the money that he signed for, you
Yeah.
wonder, could we have made things work? Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, we just got to trust Howard. He's shown us that he knows how to make those decisions. He's the front office man here, and ultimately he's gonna make that move if he sees a crack in the crevice, a chink in the armor. He's gonna do whatever it takes to address the situation. So that's what this move says to me. But speaking of Quinyon Mitchell, w- we got to congratulate my boy. He,
Woo!
he made it to the top 100, number 49 in year number one.
One.
So so this makes three Eagles for us, right? At this point.
Yep.
So we got Jordan Mailata, Q, and Coop. Um, Not to mention, we still haven't heard Hurt's name, AJ, Saquon, Lane Johnson, um, Jalen Carter, Zach Bond. I know I'm missing somebody. Devontae Smith.
Yeah,
So
about to say something.
those seven right there, we could possibly have 10 people in
The
the
NFL
top
top 100.
100. So I mean, when you think of that, then you can't really get mad when you say something like super team. But hey, all I'm saying is they weren't saying anything about a super team until we won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Now it's about us being a super team. But congrats to my boy Q. Phenomenal season. If you would have told me that he had that kind of season, he was going to have that kind of season, I wouldn't have been surprised, but I'd be lying if I said that I saw that coming. What
Man,
about
it's
you?
it's crazy to think. I mean, this kid literally grew up like 20 minutes from outside my hometown. We used to play their high school in like games, and I think about it, man, of how low the visibility was at that high school, right? Like he had to really work to get to
Mhm.
college. And then when you get to college, everybody hates on you because you're at Toledo, you're not at Alabama, you're not at
Right.
LSU, you're not somewhere where people expect you to be a household name. Did Q care about that? Absolutely not. Man went to work. He continued working while he was at Toledo. He had one of the best senior bowls that I have ever seen, that a lot of people say they've ever seen out of a cornerback. The kid has defied all the odds. He's a top 50 player. And if you were to ask him today, if you were to ask this man today, like, hey, Q, you're a top 50 player, he'd be like, that's great. It's time to go back to work. He's got that Jalen Hurts mentality for a corner. And man, I think that the sky is really the limit with this guy. I think he's got the opportunity to be one of those Darrell Revis like cats that we talk about later in life. And I'm not saying that just because he's an Eagle, guys, because I get it. There's bias. I'm an Eagles fan. But if you really turn on the tape, this is a kid that proved everybody wrong. Everybody was saying when he was coming out of college, well, he went to Toledo, he won't ever pan out. Toledo doesn't play good talent. Gets to the NFL, consistently plays well. We looked at him in that Buccaneers week against Mike Evans. He was incredible against Mike Evans. Fast forward to the week we played the Cincinnati Bengals against Jamar Chase. He was incredible whenever he was lined up against him. He played the likes of CeeDee Lamb. He played the likes of Puka Nakua. He played the likes of all these different kind of guys. Malik Neighbors, Scary Terry. You name it, and the kid was across from him. He absolutely deserves this. And let me tell you, he's just getting started.
Just getting started. And he just seems like one of those high character guys, right? So when we talk about him going to Toledo, people really don't mention that he had a chance to hit the portal in the time and era now where everybody's going after the highest bidder for
Yeah,
NIL.
Nick Saban recruited him,
Yeah,
wanted him to come
he
to
had a
Alabama.
chance. He had a chance to go to Bama. He chose to stay, finish what he started, and I felt like that ultimately was the nail in the coffin for him becoming the Eagle. Like, obviously, it came at a time where we desperately needed that help outside.
Yeah,
One of the worst defenses in the league, especially on the outside. So, for him to come in and help change this defense from worst to first, hey, he deserves everything he gets.
I couldn't agree with you more. It's literally, we remember DP, the 10-1 fall off, the great collapse. He and Coop were literally answered prayers to a
Mhm.
secondary that was just absolutely horrible. Like, I know as Eagles fans, I was talking about, we come into the season, I was like, man, I hope Coop and Q can come along and really help us get to that middle of the pack. Never in my wildest dreams would I have ever believed we'd have went all the way to number one. And God, man, you got to kick your hats off to these young guys and to Howie Roseman on the evaluation process.
And shout out to the rest of the league, because how the hell did we get Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean
In the
in the
same
first and second
draft.
round? Like, how does that happen? And then we
Oh,
follow it up and get Jahad Campbell
and
at the
Makuba.
back of the draft. So I mean, as much as we can give Howie credit, we got to give the rest of the league credit too for saying no to these guys. Because I mean, when you think about a 32 team round, everybody's not going to pan out, but our guys
Right.
just seem to do so.
Yeah, you look at, and I was talking with somebody about it, and I was like, man, you really look at him versus Tyrion Arnold, Kool-Aid McKinstry, and all these other different cornerbacks. We really did get the best two. Not saying that
Mhm.
Tyrion Arnold wasn't very good for
Right.
Detroit. He was very serviceable and did a really good job. He was a little bit banged up. Kool-Aid McKinstry was probably the only bright spot for the New Orleans Saints. And now you look at this, though, you just look at Q separating himself. Doesn't allow
Mhm.
a touchdown until week 15 against the Dallas Cowboys. Doesn't, he in the playoffs, he had 2 interceptions. I don't believe he allowed any touchdowns in the playoffs. This kid right here, man, he's going to be one of those guys. And I know it sounds biased coming from an Eagles fan, but even if he leaves Philadelphia, and God forbid, this guy has the intangibles to be one of the corners that we talk about later. And we're talking about, man, what a guy.
And to think about, he came to a great system, right? So not only did he get a chance to learn under the
Thank you for the
tutelage.
subscription.
Yes, yes, we appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Not only did he get a chance to learn under the tutelage of a Vic Fangio, seasoned Vic Fangio, but he also got to learn from Slay, right? On his
Mhm.
last year out of here. So he learned from one of the best to ever do it and is still continuing to do it at a high level. Um, and he got to watch him through the whole process from preseason all the way to the bowl. So he got a crash course. He probably aged about 2 to 3 seasons in one season.
Yeah.
When you think about what 20, it's like 20 games that they played,
Mhm.
19, 20 games, something like that. So
As a rookie,
as a rookie,
golly.
yeah.
I
So
think
this
Vic
rookie
Fangio,
class,
Vic Fangio is one of the best things that could have happened for him.
oh, for sure. So I mean, when you think about everything that happened with the collapse and who we let walk and things like that, it sucks in the moment, but those things have to happen for a 24 bird season to happen. So I'm grateful. We had to suffer through 23, but we got 24 on the back end. So
I would do
I'm
it
not
again.
mad at that.
I
Yeah.
would do I would do it all again. And let me say one last thing before we segue into the next part. Something that can't go overstated. The fact that we had that season, Darius Slay could have left. Okay,
Yes.
he could have left prior to this season. Instead, him staying in Philadelphia took Coop and aged him at least 2 years. That can't be overstated enough. How important Darius Slay was for the development of Cooper DeJean and for Quinion Mitchell. It can't be overstated enough.
If I ever see Darius Slay, I gotta buy him a beer or whatever.
Yeah.
Because not only did he develop Q, he helped develop Coop, he helped develop AJ and Smitty. They're not the beast that they are today without Slay, because when you hear their interviews, they both say, "Hey, when he got there, I couldn't do anything. He called out all my routes before I even knew what I was doing. He taught me, how to make everything look the same, and
Right.
late hands and things like that. So he helped the whole team basically. So I mean, for you to have that kind of impact, always was like a high character guy. Slay's all good with me, man. Best of luck. Best of luck. And he's in the AFC, so I can I can root for him.
And I'll say this in case he ever sees this, because at one point I was very critical of Slay because of the podcast stuff and because of the drama with CJ Gardner Johnson. I can admit when I was wrong. Looking back on it now, everything that Slay said about all those situations definitely matched up. So I can
Mhm.
admit when I'm wrong. That was on me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's all love at the end of the day. I know we get a little passionate from time to time because we love our birds, but at the end of the day, you know,
He delivered.
he delivered, man. He went out with a bang, and if he doesn't do another thing in this league, he helped us go to a Super Bowl and help develop some talent that we'll have for years to come. And hopefully that springs another one or two or three chances to go to the bowl.
Agreed.
Man, so last but not least, we got to get to it. We got to go full screen for this one. So obviously, the reason why everybody's here, we got to preview this game. So it's not quite football. So when we think about it, it's beyond football or impossible football that we're about to talk about. But it's the preseason. It's not quite September the 4th, but it's the close we got, right? So we got the Cincinnati Bengals. They coming to the link, right?
Yep. Correct.
Yep, they coming to the link. Um, and this is our first chance to see the 25 birds. Now, it won't be the 25 birds. But we do got some interesting camp battles. So we got Makuba and Sidney Brown. I'm not sure if Makuba is healthy enough to play, but
Mhm.
if he is, he'll go for that.
He was full pads today, so that's
Okay,
promising to
that's
see. That
promising.
was yeah, I would
That's
say that was
promising.
promising to see, but I don't know if that means he'll be full go by Thursday.
Okay, so I mean, we should at least see Sidney Brown and McCullum. We talked about the camp battle at cornerback with Ringo and Adoree Jackson, and now Bennett. So
Yep.
maybe he'll get thrown in the fire for a
I
little
would
bit.
say the only thing Bennett's waiting on is for his physical to clear.
Yeah. Yep. So he should be good to go by Friday or Thursday.
Yeah.
We also might get to see our rookie, man. We might get to see Jahad Campbell lace him up. I heard
That's
he's been an absolute beast in camp. They say
oh
they gotta reel him in. He's pushing down Dallas Goddard, knocking balls out of the quarterback's hand. No, you can't touch them. I love the energy, man. I love what I'm
yeah.
hearing. I was kind of nervous when it came to him possibly not being available for camp and early preseason. But hey, all signs are pointing to us getting to see our dog day one.
Yeah, man, it's exciting stuff, right? So back to what you said, guys. This isn't going to be the product that you see on the field Thursday is not going to be the 2025 Eagles, but it is going to give you an opportunity to see what some of these young guys look like in game speed, right? You're going to get to see Keely Ringo get snaps. You're going to get to see Jahad Campbell hopefully get some snaps. I'm really excited to see Trotter Jr. go out there and run around a little bit. Ty
Smile
Robinson's going to
Monday.
get snaps. Yep, I'll say Ty Robinson will be on the field. You got Sidney Brown, even offensively, right? We get our first taste, more than likely, of Dylan Gabriel, or not Dylan Gabriel. Jesus, I've been talking about the Browns too much. AJ Dillon, we're gonna get our first look at AJ Dillon. Will Shipley, Montrell Johnson from Florida has been doing a lot of good things at camp, from what I understand. Tanner McNee will more than likely be the starter there, but we might get to see some DTR. I think
Oh,
that
we will.
yeah, um, if we see Tanner McNee, we will either see DTR or Kyle McCord, and I think that's going to give us a really good insight on what who's winning that, who's going to be cut and who's going to be not, because one of those guys is not going to be on the team next season. And I'm really excited for the offensive line. And you know me, DP, I'm an offensive line guy. I'm excited to see some of these twos like Drew Kendall get snaps, Miles Hinton get some snaps at tackle, because I do think he's going to be the future of Lane
Mhm,
Johnson. But more importantly, like he said, Jahad Campbell has been electric in camp.
whew,
They literally it reminds me of when Jalen Carter was a rookie.
mhm.
They literally had to tell Jalen Carter, hey man, you got to calm down. And it's a good problem to have when you're telling your guy to calm down, because it's easy to tell a guy to calm down. It's impossible to tell a guy that he needs to turn it up, because you either have
Mhm.
that in you or you don't.
I
So
love
I mean, Jahad, Eagles fans, Eagles fans, I don't think we understand how good Jahad Campbell is really going to be in an Eagles
not
uniform. And
yet.
obviously, we've got to see it. It's got to happen first, but there's a lot to be excited for. I mean, he's getting praise from, he's getting praise from Jordan Mailata. He's getting praise from Jalen Hurts. He's getting praise from Saquon Barkley. These are dudes in the NFL. You talk
Mhm.
about Super Bowl MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year, saying, "Man, this kid's a freak athlete. I can't wait to see him lace him up and run around a little bit." And he wasn't even
Oh man.
supposed to be. He wasn't even supposed to be practicing till just right now. And the guy
Mhm,
was ready to go on the first day. Oh
mhm.
man.
Yeah, so I mean, the older I get, the more I get excited about games like this, because it tells you ultimately what kind of depth you're gonna have behind the starter. So obviously anybody can get excited for the starting 22, but it's the guys that's behind them that help you actually win the championship.
Ask the Detroit Lions how important depth is.
But ultimately, that isn't even what cost them. But that's neither
I,
here nor there.
yeah, but so that's a whole nother conversation, and I agree with you.
So I'm also excited about to see Smile Monday, right? So that's
That's
one
a
of
good
those
other one.
guys. That's one of those guys that was underrated in my opinion when we got him. We'll get to see, because of where they are on the depth chart. We're gonna get to see these guys get some really good snaps, some good mental reps. It's just gonna be good to see them finally hit the field and
Right.
get some kind of idea what they're gonna blossom into.
Only real football fans watch the preseason, guys. Oh,
That's
you
it.
have to really love football to watch the fours and the threes and the twos do battle, man. Because you're gonna
Mhm.
see, you're probably gonna see Tremaine Trotter Jr. and Jahad Campbell come out, and then you're gonna see Small Munden come in for them at times. And from what I've understood from camp, Small Munden has done the only thing in camp that Jahad Campbell hasn't been able to do, and that's cover the wheel route. He's done a really, really good job at covering the wheel route, and this is. I'm excited, man. Could you believe DP? For the first time in what feels like Philadelphia Eagles history, we have a deep linebacker room. We've got dudes all over the place at linebacker. It's crazy to me.
I mean, and then that it's exciting for a lot of reasons. Obviously, depth is good, but when you think about our special teams unit, that's only going to help them get better. When you think about what we can do with some of these pieces, like a Smile Monday, on the outside, we haven't even talked about the D line yet. We're
Yeah,
loaded there too. So I
yeah.
mean, we're gonna get to see some of these dudes lace them
Uh,
up. I'm not sure exactly who's gonna get time, but I'm excited.
yeah, I mean, Moro Ojomo has had a sack in every single Philadelphia Eagles full padded team session, all of
Crazy
them.
work.
And that's not even me exaggerating. That's per Elliot Parks, who is on the sideline every single day of Eagles camp. And whether you like him or not, he's still reporting the news. He has had a sack every single day. And that's against
That's
ones, guys.
crazy,
That's going against Landon Dickerson. That's going against Cam Jurgens. Like that's you know what I mean? He's not going against the twos.
man. He's actually one of my breakout candidates. Him
You did call
on
that.
on
You did
on
call
that
it.
side of the ball. So Jomo and Jordan Davis. So
Mhm.
obviously he came in looking like an edge rusher to camp.
Oh,
So I can't wait to see him.
Jordan Davis on a contract year. Ooh.
Yeah, yeah. It's dangerous. It's dangerous. So I don't suspect to see a Jordan Davis, especially not in the first preseason game or at all in the preseason. Actually, uh, if we do see him, it'll probably be very limited. But I'm excited about that, man. So when it comes to quarterback play, Tanner McKee is pretty much got it locked up, I would say. So it's really just about that battle for that third position, DTR and the rookie that we got. Not really too worried about any of that actually, because we got our number two. So when you go into it, already know who your number two is. You just trust the process with everybody else.
Yeah.
Obviously, we should see some Will Shipley. I love me some Will Shipley, man, and he's gonna get a chance to run behind, a good line. You mentioned AJ Dillon. I'm trying to see if I left anybody out. So Terrace Marshall, he's been having a great camp. We'll get to see him. I
If
don't
he's
know if we'll
healthy.
see. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, he did get banged up. I'm not sure if we'll see Jahan Dotson. He's in a battle for that three.
He has
Probably
been,
not.
but apparently today he really flashed with Jalen Hurts today. I would be surprised if we see him. I do think, like you said, we're going to see Will Shipley. I think we see Montrell Johnson Jr. I think we
Yeah,
see a little bit of AJ Dillon because AJ Dillon has actually taken more reps with the first team than a lot of people thought he would. So
right.
maybe we see 3 touches from AJ Dillon, and then after
Yeah.
that, it's going to be the Will Shipley Montrell show. And we're gonna get to see, like I said, Drew Kindle play center. I'm excited. I'm really excited to watch Drew Kindle play center. From everything Jeff Stalin has been saying, that kid's a dog, and he's being cross trained to play guard, either of the guard positions. And we know from a year ago that's
Hmm.
really important. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
I wouldn't expect to see, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Tyler Steen, Landon Dickerson, or Cam. You're not going to see any. I would be very surprised if they do come out. It won't be for more than one series.
Speaking of Steen, I can't be more proud of that guy. So I mean, he's been in camp battle after camp battle, year after year. Ultimately, almost winning last year if it wasn't for injury again, right? So this year he's been able to turn it up and pretty much solidify his position at right guard. So if all things hold, we're looking at our starting right guard for the 25 season. I'm excited about that. He's been able to come in a pinch when players go down. Obviously he's been in STU for several years at this point, so I trust it. When it comes to Stoutland, I don't question anything on that offensive line. If they're out there, I know they're vetted. I know they're good to go.
Yeah, I think that you look at Tyler Steen a year ago was already probably going to be slated to be the starter, and like you said, had he not been injured, we probably see him take that job from Mekhi Becton.
Mhm.
Ultimately, it worked out in Mekhi Becton's favor and Tyler Steen's favor. It allowed him to get valuable reps in the second, learn more for another year behind Just Allen. Look for Tyler Steen to be an underrated offensive lineman in the NFL this season. I'm really excited for him.
Yes, and when you hear Stout talk about Tyler Steen, he kind of draws the comparison of Brooks from our Super Bowl season. He's got
Yep.
that kind of build, and also we may see a uptick in pass protection. So when we talk about a Becton, monster of an athlete, road grader as a run blocker, but if you had to nitpick anything, his pass protection left something to be desired. So
Mhm.
hopefully we see, an uptick in the pass protection from that regard. Obviously, we don't really question his run blocking abilities, but I'm excited, man. I'm excited about that. I think that's pretty much all that we have from the Eagle side of things. Um, we already know about Q. Coop probably won't see him either. So yeah, so we got to talk about the other team, right? The Bengals. So I didn't realize, and you kind of uh told me about this before we got on the stream. They're gonna possibly play their starters,
Yep.
even
So
if it's
per
just for a drive.
Yep. So per Zach Taylor, and guys, bear with me if my mic's giving issues. I apologize in the chat. Sometimes it's a little funky, but per Zach Taylor today, he stated that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and some of the will play specific series due to the fact that they had very slow Septembers. You look at the Cincinnati Bengals last 3 seasons, I believe they've started 1-4 in September. So that I don't disagree with it. I mean, obviously, if Joe Burrow gets hurt in a preseason game, they're going to set Cincinnati on fire. But I think that, to use them in red zone situations, to use them in a 2-minute drill situation at the end, I don't see any problem with that. Very selective places, maybe for one drive at the beginning, and then they don't come back in until like it's a 20-yard line deal, like a red zone type deal. Maybe you throw them back in just for practice. But outside of that, I understand why Zach Taylor is going to do this. It makes sense if you look at how badly the Bengals have played in September over the last
Every
3 years.
year.
Every year.
So when I looked at the numbers earlier today, like outside of the Super Bowl year, literally every year they start off under 500.
And then when you start at 1-4, I mean, teams rarely come back
That's a
from that,
hole,
guys. Yeah, you're the rest of the NFL season, you're fighting for your life to get to a playoff spot,
man.
unless another
So I
team
mean,
just falls off of the cliff.
yeah, man. Then you gotta to take into account the division that they're in. So you get
Mhm.
into a 1-4 start in that division, you might as well pack it up.
Yeah,
You'll be lucky. You'll be lucky to sniff a 7 seed at that point.
yeah, yeah. Because Baltimore's not doing that. Baltimore's not going to start 1-4.
Absolutely not. Some of these comments. Let's get to some of these comments. So we got Ayo Gamer. Appreciate you for becoming a part of the team.
Let's go, man. Welcome to the Sports Lounge Media, the
Welcome, welcome.
premier source of sports entertainment on the internet, brother.
Yes, yes. So obviously we got that Down South Philly show. We also have Sports with Sunshine, and we are both on the Sports Lounge Media Network.
I'll tell you what, for our Friday shows, we got to come up with a combo name for the show. We'll cook a little something. We're
We'll,
gonna cook a little something for
we'll
that one.
figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm clever. So we got Cowboy Central in the building. What up?
What's
What up?
happening? Yo, what's happening, brother?
Got Nina. We appreciate you. We appreciate every subscription.
Thank you for the sub. I really appreciate it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the content. We are going to be extremely aggressive on YouTube at Sports with Sunshine. Thank you.
We got Little G Griffith. I'm a
Big
big
Eagles
fan of you.
fan.
Yes, sir.
Go Birds.
Let's get it. Got David in the building. And guys, we appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share this live out, and make sure you go on over to Sports Lounge Media and subscribe to all our wonderful channels we have there. We
Yep.
got obviously we got Sports with Sunshine, we got Down South Philly show, we got Ken's Pets Talk, we got the Marshall Experience, SLM Bets, and we got some more shows coming. So you never know what you're going to see on the network. Guys, we cover football, baseball, we're going to cover hockey. We already covered basketball. So the big four. Um,
If
tune
it's
in.
sports, the Sports Lounge covers it.
Tune in. David said my mic is echoing.
Yeah, I thought he was talking about me because sometimes mine. Remember, like sometimes it makes my voice sound all
Oh,
pretty crazy. So when I seen that, I was like, great, I sound like Mickey Mouse right now.
it doesn't. I don't hear it though.
All right, bet.
Let's see. Yeah. So when we talk about, and we appreciate y'all. Keep commenting. So I got the chat up now. When we talk about what to expect from the Cincinnati Bengals, obviously they backed up the Brinks truck for Chase and Higgins.
Yeah.
But they left a little to be desired on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, they took forever to sign their first round draft pick in Shamar. Um, Still haven't figured out what they're going to do with Trey Hendrickson. We suspect that he's going to be a Bengal, but I don't know. Um,
He's been at
that's
camp, but
that's
he hasn't
weird.
been participating.
Yeah, it's a hold in, a hold in. That's pretty much your only recourse as a player, that's unhappy. But
So you don't get fined.
what? Yeah, yeah. So what have you seen in this off season from the Bengals? Have they done enough to compete?
Yeah, let's talk about it. The Cincinnati Bengals guys offensively are going to be a dangerous football team, right? Offensive line wise is probably the only place I think that I'm shaky with
Mhm.
Cincinnati, but I do think they are better right now than they have been in the past. You bring in Jamar Chase, who is the best receiver in football, arguably, right? You have T. Higgins, who's considered one of the top twos in the league. I love the young kid, Andrew Rossi, I believe is what his name is. He's a great pass catcher. In the
Mhm.
tight end room, they're very talented as well. With I believe
Mike
they have
Gesicki.
yeah, but see, they have Mike Gesicki. You have Chase Brown did a lot of great things for you. He was very serviceable, and if he can take that next step and actually be a back that people are like, oh no, we have to prep for Chase Brown. Last year Chase Brown it was kind of like, okay, he can do some cool things, but if he could take a Kyrene Williams like step for the Cincinnati Bengals, that's going to take a lot of pressure off Joe Burrow. It's also going to add a passing weapon out of the backfield for Joe Burrow, who, oh, by the way, Joe Burrow, who is arguably the best quarterback in football in terms of throwing it, right, and his ability to read the field. So offensively, this Bengals team is going to be able to compete with anyone. They did it a year ago, guys. You look at the Baltimore games. They lost both of those games, I believe, by a combined 6 or 7 points. It
They
was
were
like
both
40,
close.
yeah, I would say both of them were close. They split with the Steelers, and both of those games were close. I mean, with us, it was close until the third quarter. So it's you look at this Cincinnati team. If their defense, guys, and DP hit it on the head. They haven't done a lot in terms of defense. Although I have heard good things out of camp, it's still just camp, and we have to see what it looks like live action. They if they can't bring back Trey Hendrickson, he was the shining spot on a defense that really struggled a year ago. Who's going to rush the passer now at this point? And guys, they proved that it's not sustainable to win games 40 to 43. 50 to 53. It's just not sustainable. So if the Bengals can be even slightly better, they don't have to be good. They don't even have to be top 10. If the Bengals can get in that 15 to 12 range defensively and be serviceable, the Cincinnati Bengals will make the playoffs.
That's exactly my point. They don't need them to be great with that offense that they have. Can you give me a top 15? Can you at least pinch the offense? That's all
Right.
we need. We need maybe one or two turnovers, and a stop or two, and we'll take care of the rest on offense because they're going to put up some points.
Agreed.
So Joe Burrow at this point, he's looking healthy. Doesn't
Mhm.
seem like they have any major
the
injuries
healthiest
on.
the
Yeah,
healthiest he has in a long
in
time
a long
turn
time.
in the terms of coming in from an off season, because you got to remember
Mhm.
2 years ago he injured his thumb
The calf.
or it was his calf in the preseason, and he was done for that whole year. So this is the healthiest the Bengals have looked in a really long time.
Yeah. So I mean, who we got winning? Well, I mean, it's kind of hard. What's up, Outdoor Creations? It's kind of hard to
Welcome.
tell in the preseason because once you get down to when the game really can be decided, you got people that's fighting for their life. So it's really impossible to guess. Obviously, I roll with the birds, but we just can't guarantee anything, right? Because we have no idea who's going to be playing in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, no, it's impossible. Like the way I look at preseason games, man, I don't really care who wins or loses. I care
Right.
about the reps that these young guys are getting. They're valuable in game experience reps, and it's going to give you a look at what your roster looks like headed into the season. Right, you are not going to know whether or not. If I had to pick one outdoor, I would probably lean us because I think we're that talented in our with our second team. But if we lose, I'm cool with it. We get to see Jahad Campbell actually play football at the NFL level in a fast-paced environment. We get to see what we have in the secondary room because I'm sure Vic Fangio is going to play a lot of those guys. And if you're a Bengals fan, you get to kind of see what you're going to get out of Shamar Stewart. You get to kind of see what the offense is going to look like with the number two. So really, for me, it's about what do the rookies look like? What does the bench look like? And how what kind of strides have these guys made?
Shout out to Gis Family TV. He says Smile Monday, baby. He's a huge Smile Monday fan. That's my boy Dom. That's the co-host to the Down
Yo,
South Philly
Dom,
show.
what's
So
good,
yeah,
Dom?
now that we think about it, if they're gonna play their starters even for a drive or two, that's probably the edge. Because it's not like it's gonna be tons of points scored in this game. This is still a Vic Fangio defense, even if it's the fours. So that
Vic
might
Fangio is
be
gonna want to win.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, we still want to win. Make no mistake
Yeah.
about it, guys. We just don't have the starters in. So I'll be cheering as if we have the starters in. Tune in. We will be streaming that game this Thursday. Not on the Sports Lounge meter because obviously we have some other programming that's going on at the same time. But on the Down South Philly show, we will stream it. And ultimately, we will have the primetime games. So once the season gets kicked off, you'll see us, a lot of us. All right, we got Outdoor Creation saying, who do you think will make the 53-man roster as far as wide receivers? So obviously you got the
For the
big three
Eagles.
of that's what I'm guessing he's saying.
Mhm.
Let me leave it up. So you got AJ, you got Smitty, Jahan Dotson. Um,
Anaya
after that,
Smith,
Anaya Smith.
Johnny
So
Wilson.
Johnny Wilson. But that's where after that, about four or five, it gets tricky. So when you talk about your Terrace Marshalls and on down, those will depend on how healthy they are down the stretch. We heard great things out of camp. He was tearing it up. But as we know, injuries can derail your whole season. So I'll be interested to see how the wide receiver group looks after that four spot. So what do you think if you had to guess? Who would be your top? I guess let's say four receivers. Who would be your four receivers?
Yeah, so let's talk about it. Obviously, you have the big three. You've got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Jahan Dotson. Those are the guys. They're
Those
already
are
they've all yeah they've already made the roster. They haven't already made the roster, but they have.
yeah.
So then we look at that fourth spot, right? That's an interesting spot because you have Anaya Smith who didn't get a lot of in-game reps a year ago. Johnny Wilson, who's a big body, he's a great red zone guy. Although I do think he needs to work on his ability to catch the football a little better if he's going to be that big, because I don't think he's going to be a deep threat route running guy. I would prefer to see him transition to tight end, but that's just me. I know Chosen has said that before on some of our lives, but I agree with him. Terrence Marshall has been very good thus far in the camp. If he stays healthy, I think that there is a better than good chance he gets signed over Anais Smith or you know who I'm talking about.
Terrace Marshall.
Anais. Yeah, I'm going to take Terrace Marshall at that four spot. Either him or Johnny Wilson.
Yeah. Well, we always tend to lean on our own draft picks, but if you are undeniable, hey, I'm all for competition because when you think about it, if you as a wide receiver, if you can get in there as the fourth guy, you guarantee yourself some kind of play time because as we know, it's a long season, it's 17 games, and not wide receivers, but just football players in general aren't going to last the whole season. So you're going to miss maybe one, two, hope not 4 games.
Right.
And
And
especially when you think about an AJ Brown who's a little tweaked right now. Not too
with an
concerned about it.
with an injury that he was out with last season. So the only
Right.
thing that I'm going to say, and I agree with DP, I'm not like over the moon about it and like really scared. I'm glad we're dealing with it now
Now.
because a year ago, it happens in Green Bay. He practiced and made it worse. and then we didn't have him all the way up through Tampa. So and when AJ Brown came back, we never lost another football game. AJ Brown is
Yeah,
important to what we do. He's
he's a
extremely
difference maker.
him and Lane Johnson are arguably the two most important parts of our team because when they don't play, we don't perform well. So
And
I
Hurts.
yeah, and Jay, obviously Jay. Yeah, but you guys know how I feel about Jalen. If you guys have heard me talk about Jalen, I'm gonna defend our QB over anybody. They better not DP. They better not let him win an MVP. You know what? I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it. But yeah, it can't be overstated. How important it is that as a young receiver at that 4 spot, you guarantee yourself snaps, especially in an offense that loves to get creative in the red zone, right? Like I think that if Terrence Marshall does make the roster, I think that he's a very good possibility of being used in the offense. I think Jahan Dotson's going to see an increased role this season, more so than people think. And then you obviously have Smitty and AJ that are the focal points of the passing offense. But man, it's exciting, and I'm ready to see these young guys go to work because those Terrence Marshall, Anaya Smith, I think his name's Anaya Smith, and
Yeah,
Johnny Wilson. Those are going to be the receivers that you guys are going to see this Thursday. Those are going to be the guys catching footballs.
man, I'm ready, man. I cannot wait
I
uh
won't be able to
to
sleep
stream that
tomorrow.
game. So I mean, this is all we got right now. It's preseason, right? So we still got a month. Um, we got to deal with obviously we got fantasy drafts coming up. We got
Less than
one
a
on the
month now.
16th, right?
Yeah.
Do we got a
Um,
draft? We got a fantasy draft on the 16th.
because we had to
Um,
reschedule ours. Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not a big fan of drafting this early. This is the 16th is better than what we were going to draft.
Yeah.
M- my other drafts typically I do it about a week before the season starts. So literally, I got 2 drafts on August the 31st, which is the week of
The
the
opener.
first game. Yeah, so that's generally where I do it. But I'm cool with the 16. I'm excited. How are you feeling about the team that you already drafted?
Mm. I I'm happy with it. I would have made some changes, and I'm gonna make changes in this next one. But I'm happy with some of the guys that I've grabbed. It's been invaluable to have Marshall. He's been really
Yeah.
helpful for me. In like developing a fantasy strategy. So guys, if you have any kind of a fantasy question, please www.sportsloungemedia.com. Find the Marshall experience. If you have fantasy questions, he is a literal guru. He helped me, and obviously I already had experience doing fantasy, but he kind of showed me a different way to look at it, and I'm definitely gonna implore some of those techniques as we head into the regular season because I have some guys I have my eyes on.
Hey, he's gonna be on tonight. So right after this stream, if you're on the East Coast, he'll be on at 9 p.m. Not sure about the rest of the coast, but I know for a fact if you go Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. sharp, you'll have the Marshall experience.
That's
I believe
Pacific, 6 p.m. Pacific.
6 p.m. Pacific. I believe tonight's show he's gonna cover some important details about the NFC teams from a fantasy perspective. Loads of knowledge, guys. So if you want to get ahead of your league, because I mean
If
everybody's not gonna take the time to study.
DP,
He's
if they
literally done the work for you. There you
y'all want
go.
one of these, bad boys. Y'all want one of them? Head over to the Marshall experience because I know
There you
I know
go,
I'm trying to earn this John this year.
man. It doesn't have wings on it, but it's still a pretty impressive wing. So, man, I just got that much more excited when you said that we could potentially see some starters from the Bengals side. That could at least defensively urge us to bring our starters out at least for a series or two. Um, Especially with us having camp battles at some pretty important positions. So,
Right?
we'll
Yeah.
at least we might see a Sidney Brown, we might see a Ringo and a Jackson.
And
We
as
might,
as as hateful as it sounds, I need to see Keely Ringo against Jamar Chase. Like I need to see what
yeah,
it looks like.
yeah,
So I need to see what it looks like in the preseason so I can prep myself mentally for the regular
yeah.
season.
You can sit this one out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Q's earned
Q,
it.
Coop, Q and Coop, Zach Bond, I'll be good not seeing him.
Put your
Jalen
coach's hat
Carter,
on.
yeah, Jalen Carter, go ahead and take a rest. I guess I'd be okay with seeing some Jordan Davis. I'd love to see a Jomo wreck their
Mhm.
offensive line. I'm
You're gonna see a lot of
interested to
Ty
see their
Robinson.
rookie. Yes. I'm interested to see their first round draft pick,
Shamaria.
pass rusher Shamar, going against our twos. But other than that, man, just excited to see football back. Can I feel like we've covered most of everything. Um,
Yeah.
from a Bengal standpoint, that's as much as we got for the Bengal side of things. But I'm just excited about football in general, man.
Yeah, man.
Um,
We wait all year for this, right? This is our Christmas, especially as not only as content creators, but as up and coming and aspiring analysts. It's fun to watch, right? Like this is the whole point. Like everybody's like, oh, it's just the preseason. These games are boring, maybe, and I get it. Like you're allowed to have. I'm not saying you can't have that opinion, but when
yeah,
like when you have invested to the level we have, a lot of us have played this game. A lot of it's just hits different when you get to
it's different.
watch it and enjoy it. I mean, the atmosphere around your house, around homes, is different during this time of the year, man. And college sports is going to be starting up as well here soon. It really is the best time of the year, August through February, man. It's unbeatable.
Man, no better time. No better time. Before we get out of here today, I do want to give you a chance since this is your first time on the platform. Um, I want to give you a chance to uh-oh, what happened? Got a phone call.
No worries.
Me declining that. Basically showcase sports with sunshine. Just let the people know, what they can expect from your platform if they never seen it before, where they can find you, what time, all that good stuff. The
Yeah,
floor is yours.
absolutely. I appreciate you, man, and big shout out to DP for allowing me to come on, man. I've been really excited about getting on the Down South Philly, and this will not be the last time that I
Absolutely
frequent this
not.
show. Guys, Sports with Sunshine, it is powered through the Sports Lounge Media. It's one of the premier shows on the Sports Lounge around, along with the Down South Philly show. We are live on Mondays and Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. On Mondays, we're going to do more of a focus on during the season at least, we're going to do more of a focus on the Monday night game from an offensive and defensive standpoint as it pertains to both teams. I will be releasing my top five. I'm going to call it something. I haven't come up with a name yet. For now, it's just going to be called Sunshine's top five plays from Sunday. We're also going to do any kind of like breaking NFL news, that kind of good stuff. Then as we move on through the week, we come through that Friday. Me and DP will be partnering this next season to cover the Eagles game, whether it's a recap or a preview. We're going to be talking about the Philadelphia Eagles game because I know sometimes they play on Thursdays. So if we meet after they played, we'll do a recap. But we're going to do a recap together of that, and we're also going to talk about the America's game of the week that week, whether it's the Philadelphia Eagles or not, and do a offense and defensive breakdown, storyline breakdown, all that good stuff. And I'm going to be releasing my top five power rankings on that day. We both will every single Friday as the NFL pertains. That way, we can stay up to date with everything. We'll be live. If you need to find us, guys, it's Sports with Sunshine across. We're on IG, X, TikTok, and YouTube. Make sure to go like, subscribe, and follow all the different platforms so that you don't miss a second of the action. Because as it pertains to the NFL and the NHL, Sports with Sunshine is going to have you covered all season long.
There you have it. There you have it. Go ahead, plug in, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you share this live out and catch us next time. So we'll be right back here next to, well, actually, no, we got a game coming up. So you're going to see me this Thursday. We are going to live stream the game on Thursday against the Cincinnati Bengals. You'll see me, my beautiful mug on here. I believe Dom is going to join us on that one as well. So we're going to talk birds, man. Everything pertinent. If anything comes up in between now and then, we'll cover that as well. Tune in. It's always great conversation. We kick it, and we preview what's next to come. So make sure that you tune into that. Again, that's going to be on the Down South Philly show exclusively for the preseason. And if you, for whatever reason, missed that, you catch us again next week on Sports Lounge Media. Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Tuesday after that as well. Guys, it's been a pleasure. I've had my man in here, Sports with Sunshine. We've been breaking it down, talking some birds like we always do on a week-to-week basis. We
Woo!
previewed a little bit of what we're gonna expect from Thursday's game, and boy, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Mhm.
So, without further ado, this is the end of the show, Down South Philly show. And as always, go birds.
Go Birds!